Shalom, 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 Yasha'Allah. This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video. I think the title is going to be called He Shall Come to the Astonishment of Them. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Right, that's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and His only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi. Right, and the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. Like I said, today's lesson, I believe, is going to be called He Shall Come to the Astonishment of Them, right, that dwell upon the earth. And I was just kind of skimming through Second Esdras. We're going to kind of go over Second Esdras, a little bit of Second Esdras 13. Going to go over a little bit of Matthew, and a little bit of Joel. And Lord's will, this is edifying, right? And that He is going to be, is talking about Yahawashi, right? The coming of Yahawashi, right? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, right? So I just want to get right into it. Lord's will, this is edifying, right? I'm going to start at 2nd Ezra chapter 13. And I'll start at verse number 30, right? And it says, and He shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, right? He's going to come to the astonishment of them that dwell upon the earth, right? And who is this talking about, right? When you read, this was the angel giving the vision to Esdras, right? We jump up to verse 25. It says, this is the meaning of the vision, whereas thou saw a man coming up from the midst of the sea, right? It says, the same is he whom the Most High, the Heavenly Father, the highest, have kept a great season, right? Talk about Yahawashi, says, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. It says, and whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came a blast of wind and fire and storm, right? And what is that talking about when you come up, right? And as you see right now, you have these nations that are going up against other nations. Matter of fact, let me just get that real quick, and I'll come back and touch bases on that, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, right? Book of Matthew, 24, and let's talk about it real quick. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and I'll start at verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Right? And this is what we're seeing right now. Right? You have this war in the Middle East right now. Right? That's popping off. Right? You know, they're saying it's not, but we see the things getting turned up. We see this stuff starting to really, take hold, right? You know, Babylon is now in the mix of it, you know? Babylon is in the mix of this thing. So it says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, right? And it's, as you've seen, there's been many earthquakes. There's been many earthquakes, you know. One thing too is just going to some of these stores recently too. I've been seeing a lot of stuff out of stock. A lot of stuff, you know, just not even on the shelves. Right? These things are starting to happen right before your eyes. Right? It says, and pestilence and earthquakes. Right? You still have this what's this new thing, disease X out there, right? You have the, what is it, not the locust, it's the I did a lesson on it. They have these these I can't think of the name. It's these bugs, right, that are usually like down south, right, and they're going to be this spring. They're going to be they stay dormant for like years at a time, and these things are all going to wake up at the same time. All these things are, like I say, are not coincidental. All these things are 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 on purpose, right, and to show you the things that are going on, right. Um, Let me jump down. Let's see. Um, let's go to verse 11, right? Actually, verse 10. It says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." Right? And we see these things happening, right now. It says, "And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many." Right? These things are all occurring right now. "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." It says, "But he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved." Right? And it says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." Right? And this is what we see happening, right? This gospel has truly been preached, from one end of the earth to the other, right? Through the unicorn, right? Or the internet. Okay. It says, let me jump down verse number 21. It says, "Then shall be great tribulation, such as not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." It says, "Except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened." Okay, and this is the time that we're heading into, right? Jacob's trouble is abound, right? Jeremiah 30:7. Okay, it's like Daniel 12:1. It's like a time that has not been seen on the earth, like no other. Like this time is happening now. We see these things. The prophecies are all they're rolling right now. Okay, and it's not a time to be sleep. Um, it says. It says, "For there shall arise false Hamashiachs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect." Right? We know that's not possible. Right? It says, "Behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chamber, believe it not. For as lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be." Right? So when Yahawashi comes, hey, you're not going to have to ask somebody, is this it? Was that, oh, he's over there? You're going to know. Just as lightning shineth from one end, and you can see it on the opposite end, so shall it be the coming of the Son of Man, right? And why is that? Let's get the book of Isaiah, right? What do I want? Isaiah 66 and verse number 15, right? It says, "For behold, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire." Right? You're going to know when he comes. You're going to know. It's not going to be a mystery. You don't have to ask. You're going to know. Right? He's coming with his chariots. Right? He's coming in a chariot, and we're going to get that in 2 Esdras 13. And so are the angels. They're coming in, smaller chariots, but Yahawashi is coming in a huge chariot, right? Or a so-called UFO or so-called spacecraft. That's where he's coming. That's where he's coming in, right? It says, "For by fire and by his sword will Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi shall be many." Right? You're gonna know, because death and destruction is gonna follow Yahawashi. Right? He's coming to bring back to repay vengeance upon this place. Like the book of Revelation says. And Salaki, I'm kind of just going through it. Revelation 1:7, it says, behold, he cometh with clouds, right? And those clouds are talking about the chariots or the UFOs, right? It says, and every eye shall see him. Who is him? Is Yahawashi. And they also which pierced him, right? Even those that pierced him, right? And this is talking about regeneration, right? Those who pierced him, back, 2,000 plus years ago. Hey, they're gonna be here, right? And he's gonna see them. And it says, and all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, man, right? Yahawashi he's coming back, and he's coming with full fury. Okay. What is that? I want Habakkuk. We'll get that, but let's go to matter of fact, let's get it. Right? No, Salakia. I'm sorry. Let me stick to the script. So those chariots is talking about these so-called UFOs, right? A UFO, right? And Esdras saw it. Esdras saw a vision, of this, of Yahawashi coming, and this is what it's talking about, right? This is when he was talking about the vision, the meaning of the vision, where it says, thou saw a man coming up from the midst of the sea, right? Let's get that. Let's see. Let's start at 2 Esdras 13:2. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And behold, lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him, right? And this is talking about Yahawashi, right? And the thousands of with him are the angels, right? Are the angels of Yahawah. And let's get that real quick. Let's prove that. Let's go to the book of Psalm. Book of Psalm 68, verse number 17. It says, the chariots of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, of the Heavenly Father, are 20,000, even thousands of angels. And Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is among them, as in Sinai, in the holy place. Right? So the chariots, right, are these so-called UFOs, right, are 20,000, even thousands. And these are being maneuvered and moved, through the angels. The angels are in these. Okay. So let's get back to that. Let's get back to where I was saying. So it says, verse 3, it says, and behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled, right? It says, behold, every eye shall see him, even them that pierced him, and the nations shall wail because of him, And it said, and all things trembled that were seen under him, right? It says, and whenever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it fleeth, when it feeleth the fire. And it says, and you see right now in the Middle East, they have, these nations are getting gathered together, right? These nations are getting gathered together, and let's get that. So let's go to the book of Joel real quick, right? And this is the book of Joel, right? Because these nations are going to be fighting each other, The book of Revelation talks about, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, right? And those woes are talking about World War. So World War II has passed, and behold, World War III cometh quickly. Okay. And this is Joel chapter 3. And I started verse number 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat or Yahawah, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. Right? Let's read it in the NOT. It says, and I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Yahawashi. There will I judge them for harming my people, who are his people, the Israelites, right? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. These other nations, man, they're going to get it, right? It says, for harming my people, my special possession, for scattering my people among the nations, right? That's why this gospel had to be preached to all the nations of the earth, throughout the whole world, because the children of Israel are scattered throughout the whole earth, man, from the four corners of the earth, right? It says, and for dividing up my land, right? So guess what? You know, the ultimate game is they're all being gathered, right, so that they can be taken down. Okay. Let me see. Let's jump to verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your prune hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Okay. And it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves around about thither, cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? And let's read in the NOT, Joel 3:9. It says, say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for attack. Hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors, right? Because guess what? You got the draft is going to be coming up, right? And they're going to be trying, just like they were doing in the Russian and Ukraine. You know, they were picking people 60 years old, right? Now they got women out there fighting, right? So it says, hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. Come quickly, all you nations everywhere. Gather together in the valley. And now, O Yahweh Shema Shai, call out your warriors. Right? All right, let's go back to 2nd Esdras. Right? So, verse 5, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a great multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right? And that sea is talking about basically space. You know, when you go into Genesis, when the waters divided the waters from the waters, right? When you think about with the elements, right? It's really just another form of element. You know, that's why they use what is that, pools. They use, you know, pools to do to practice going into space, right? Where they say there's no oxygen and different things of that nature, right? But it's talking about coming out of the sea, coming out of the firmament. Okay, Yahawashi and the chariot, the big chariot is coming through, you know, through space, right? It says, behold, and it says, together the multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the earth of heaven, right? Because they're all going to be gathered. You see right now, all these nations are being gathered, right, into that area, into that region, you know, into the Middle East, right? So it's getting prepared, right? And it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. And that's talking about Yahawashi. And that mountain is talking about the chariot that he's going to be in, because it's going to be so huge. That's why it said every eye, you know, shall see him. And it says, as lightning cometh, so shall, you know, the Son of Man be, right? Because you're going to see him, right? It's going to be clear as day, when Yahawashi returns, and he's coming with the whole host of angels, right? And it says, and flew up upon it, right? So you can't fly on an actual mountain, right? This is talking about, how huge this chariot is, right? Because Yahawashi is coming in a huge chariot, right? Because guess what? The elect are going to be beamed up into this chariot. And it's got to be enough for the elect to get beamed up into the chariot, right? It says, but I would have seen the region or place wherein the hill was graven, and I could not. So Esdras couldn't even see from when one part of the chariot started and when the other part, right? And this UFO was so huge that he couldn't see from where it began and where it ended. It was humongous, right? We always, liken it to like Independence Day when they first arrived in that movie, and it cracked the sea or the firmament, right? And it came through and it was huge, right? It was huge. It was humongous, right? And it says, and after this beheld, lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet there's fight, right? And he said, bring your strong men, bring your best warriors, right? Get your weaklings, gather everybody, right? Because this is we ready for that. We want all the smoke, right? Yahawashi is coming back for all the smoke, right? Matter of fact, what does he say? Yahawashi comes back. He wants all the smoke. He's been waiting for this. Okay. Patiently. Okay. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 47. Is it 4? Salakia, verse 3. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, right? This is talking about Babylon, right? Or America, right? The daughter of the Chaldeans, the daughter of Babylon, right? Talking about America coming down, coming down from its high estate, right? It's coming down. It's about to be destroyed, right? So it says, verse 3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yea, thy shame shall be seen. And I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man, right? Because Yahawashi is coming in his full power and glory when he comes back. His full power and glory. He's not coming back as a lamb. He's coming back as a lion, the lion of Judah, Yahawah. Okay. And it says, and after this, behold, lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, right? But just like as in the times of Egypt, right? This is modern day Egypt, right? This is like in Revelations 11 and 8. This is modern day. This is spiritual Sodom and Egypt, right? So as in the days of Egypt, where Yahawashi hardened the heart of Pharaoh, to magnify his name, so shall he do, in this time too, right? So even though they're going to be afraid, Yahawashi is going to put it in their hearts, right, in their minds to continue to come after him, right, so that he can fight them, subdue them, right, and ultimately glorify his name, right, his name and the Father's name. Okay, it says, let me see. I jump down to verse 11, verse 10. I'll go to 9, Salaki. And it says, and lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as if it were a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, right? Because this UFO, so-called UFO, or the chariot of Yahawashi, hey, this thing is going to have, laser beams. It's going to be, it's going to be fully equipped, for utter destruction, right? When you read verse 11, it says, and they were all mixed together, the blast of fire and the flaming breath and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, right? They were getting ready to fight. He put it in their hearts to get ready to fight. And guess what? It was a losing battle to begin with, right? Because it says, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, right? Esdras was afraid when he saw this. You know, you imagine this weapon that's going to come out of his chariot, and it's going to vaporize people and turn them into dust, right? They're getting ready to fight, and they think they got their little, what, 50 caliber. They got all these different things. They think they're about to do something, and Yahawashi is going to turn them to dust. Okay. Now let's jump down. So, and this is, go back to 2nd Esdras 13 and 30. It says, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell upon the earth, because people are not going to be expecting this, right? Like as in the days of Noah, so shall it be, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man, right? Paraphrasing, right? And that's, matter of fact, I think I wanted to get that. I still was in 24. Let's see, it's somewhere around here. Let's see. Here we go. This is Matthew chapter 24 and verse 37. It says, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that they were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also be the coming of the Son of Man, right? This is what's going to be happening. It's going to be just as in the days of Noah, right? But instead of water, it's coming with fire, right? And those fires talking about the ICBM missiles, right? And it's talking about Yahawashi, the chariots, with the angels and the chariots, okay? And the laser beams and the weapons that they have, okay? So these things are coming, right? And it says, and when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own heart, Salakia. No, I'm sorry. Let me go to verse 32, right? Verse 32, 2nd Esdras 13 and verse 32, it says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, that the signs shall happen which I showed thee before. Then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest, as a man ascending, right? Ascending and descending, like the, the disciples, right? They saw Yahawashi ascended in the book of Acts, and the angel asked him, why are you looking up? The same way that you see this man, basically Yahawashi was getting beamed up into a chariot, right? The same way you see him coming is the same, you see him leaving is the same way he's going to be coming, right? In that chariot, okay? It says, and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before. Then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest, as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall enter into their own land, leave the battle they have one against another. And it says, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting, right? And that's in the valley of Yahawashi, right? This is this is coming, man, right? They're gonna try to come up against Yahawashi, man, right? And the angels, right? And he's gonna put it in their hearts to actually think that they can win, man, right? And these chariots can do all types of things, man. These chariots, you see the videos, they can go into volcanoes, they can go into the ocean, come out. Of course, they can go into space, right? They can go into the heavens, right? They can appear, they can disappear. They can stop in a blink of an eye and turn and reverse direction, right? The weapons that Esau and these other nations have are not going to be capable, right? It says, but he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, right? Yahawashi, right? He's going to take back this place, right? What does it say? Um, Jacob is the matter of fact. Let's get it. Second Esdras. Salakia. This thing is not working. Okay, let's get Second Esdras 6:9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right, and the kingdom of Yahawashi is going to last forever. Right, so he's coming to claim his throne and to put Yasha'Allah or Israel, right, the nation of Yasha'Allah or Israel back on top forever. And the thing about what the angel said, that these things, when thou see these things, thou shalt understand, right? This is Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 2. It says, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? Because these things are all prophesied in the scriptures. You got people who talk about we don't need the Old Testament. The Old Testament has prophecies that have yet to happen, right? So you need the whole book, right? Yahawashi says, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me, right? He is the spirit of prophecy, right? The spirit and prophecy is to foretell something before it happens, and we see these things taking place, right? Been prophesying about, the coming of World War III. We've been prophesying about Jacob's trouble, about the MOTB, right, which is right at hand, right? This thing is right there. You got your boy Elon Musk, putting in the Neuralink, doing testing for the Neuralink on humans. This stuff is all getting ready to take place right now, right? These prophecies are all getting ready to take place. Okay, so it's time to make sure that we are watching, and we are keeping ourselves right. Let's get this right. This is Second Ezra chapter 13 and verse number 23. It says, he that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards the Almighty, right? It says, know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead, right? And because guess what? They're going to witness this whole thing play out, you know? They're gonna, it's gonna be tribulations and sorrow and all types, but they're gonna be the ones who actually, and Lord's will, we're part of that number to actually make it through to see, the coming of Yahawashi, right? The coming of our Lord and King of Kings, to see the downfall of our enemies, right? And those who have oppressed us, and these other nations to be put in subjectivity, right? All this stuff, you are blessed to be able to see this thing, right? Many of the prophets have longed to see this day, right? Ezra saw it and he was afraid, and one, he was like, woe is me, who shall save me in those days? He's seeing this vision of all these things pop off and all these things, happening, and the thing about it is, we know through prophecy that these things are happening and we're watching them play out. And we got to, secure ourselves and keep ourselves, in the secret place, right? In the strong tower, which is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? And know that we have to call on him, because ultimately that's what he wants, right? The Heavenly Father and his Son, they want, those who are worthy and are righteous, and those basically of the elect, right? Because it's only going to be the elect that are going to be saved out of Babylon, and they want, to. He is going to, just as in Egypt, when they were so afraid when the Pharaoh was coming, and what did Yahawah Shai do? He parted the sea and had the children of Israel, walk through the dry sea, right? You're going to rely on him. That's why we got to have our faith. Our faith has to be boosted in these last days. Okay? That's what's going to be important, right? Yahawashi walked the earth and, was asking people, do you believe? Do you have faith? It was about faith. If you believe, then it'll happen, And there was many people who didn't believe, especially around where he lived, right? What more nowadays, right? Yahawashi said, when I come back, paraphrasing, will there be faith in those days, right? Because this is going to be a time of trouble, right? Like no other. And these things are happening, right? They got these, these nations are all gathered over here. They're gathered in the Middle East, man, and they're ready for war, right? And this thing is has started, So we got to keep watch and pray, right? Matter of fact, let me get that one. Let's get that. Let's go to the book of Luke, right? One of my favorites. 21 verse. Let's get to the point. 36. It says, "Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man." Right? So you got to, make sure that you're watching and praying, and that, Lord's will, you're part of that number of the elect, that will be able to escape these things, to be able to stand before the Son of Man, right? And that's basically what 2nd Esdras 13 was talking about, right? It says, "Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead," right? Because those are the ones who watched, who prayed, and were worthy to be counted to escape all those things and to see the coming of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi in these days, right? So Lord's will is edifying, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, right? To the 144,000 men, 12,000 from each tribe, and to the rest of the elect. Stay diligent, stay focused, keep praying, keep watching, and stay diligent in these last days, right? These times are upon us, and it's time to, pray that Yahawah Shai give us the faith to endure and to stay diligent. We got to stay focused, right? And with that, I want to say Shalom.